Well, Grattan Kirk, the former chief executive of the JD Group, joins us on the line now as we pay respect to BCX chief executive Benjamin Mophatlane. Matthew didn't know him. Grattan, you certainly did. When did you first meet Ben and his twin brother Isaac?
Hi, Alec. We met in '97 when I joined. That stage it was Software Connection and an incredible connection, and Benjamin and Isaac were looking after Business Connection. They'd been partners of the original founders of Software Connection, Philip Coles and Paul Moses, way back in the early '90s. So they'd been working in Software Connection in the Pretoria store from the early '90s. So that's when we crossed paths for the first time.
Was actually working. He worked his way up literally from a part-time job while he was a student.
For sure, yeah. It's always good to see, that type of person come through the ranks. I mean, they started on the bottom of the corporate grease dollars, we would say, and working in the store when they were at varsity, helping out, and look what they achieved and look what they built over the years. Yeah, so it's a phenomenal story of success.
He was a guy who made friends everywhere he went, Grattan. I think there's been a lot on Twitter. We've had many of the media outlets who are going to be devoting their programming today to Benjamin Mophatlane. That's unusual. That's very unusual. An unusual character, an unusual personality.
Well, he was a big personality, Alec. When I heard the news this morning, I can just simply that laugh. That laugh and that smile was infectious. He was a big personality. He was a very, very well liked. I guess you said to me he was educated by the Irish priest down there in Kimberley. So we used to have a good laugh about that and how the Irish priests used to behave. And educated. So he had a very soft spot for Ireland, and obviously coming from Ireland, we had a lot in common. So he was a wonderful character. He always had a good joke, great sense of humor, hugely popular, a really, really likable and amicable guy. And everybody knew Benjamin. He had a big personality in a room.
Now, you've sat in the executive suite. You've gone through lots of turbulence, both at Connection Group, then at JD as well. What is happening within BCX today?
Well, they a couple of weeks ago when the news broke on the telecom, I chatted with Ben, and it was really a dream come true for them. That's been something that they've wanted to do on a business connection level for many, many years. They had one failed attempt a number of years ago, and now I think this was a dream come true. They had put it together, they thought it through, it was made sense from a strategic point of view, and it really was a combination of many, many years of effort to do the deal, and they were really excited, both Benjamin and Isaac, to be able to secure such a deal for Business Connection, and it really was into the next level of the business from Business Connection point of view. I mean, Business Connection is a significant player. It was one of the remaining IT service providers. They've got a very diverse portfolio, not only in South Africa and the rest of Africa. So they have really built a powerful, strong brand. And one of the stories that reminded me is, Business Connection is spelled with an X. And we came out of Connection Group, which had two N's. And we were quite possessive of our trade name, I suppose you would call it. And we wouldn't give them the name Connection with the two N's. So they changed it to an X. So Business Connection grew with slightly different spelling as you would expect from Connection. But it's a phenomenal business, and they really have built an empire, I guess.
So even though you might have had a little bit of a legal punch-up, and certainly over the years, Ben had to come in here and face the music while BCX wasn't doing that well. He never changed, did he? He always had the same generosity of spirit.
Yeah, he was a very mature businessman. We never bumped, so we never boxed on the name, for example. But he knew what he wanted. He was very well connected in the industry. I mean, way back from the early days of Software Connection, where Ben ran the Telkom account, he ran the VAR account to Telkom. He knew the industry. He'd been in the industry for 20 odd years, so he knew what was going on. He was a major player, and just to put together. If you think about what Business Connection came out of Connection Group in the late 90s, And then, then the Comprex transaction, how they managed that. He was not only an operator from the IT industry point of view, but he also on an M&A side. He did a lot of work in Africa and built a profile for the business in Africa. The recent iCloud initiatives, the cloud initiatives that they were involved in. So they were players, Alec, and they built a business from the ground. And it was only at the end of '99 that when they bought out of Connection Group that they really started to go. So what they've achieved in 20 years has been phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal, and that has a lot to do with Benjamin's drive and energy, his ability to build relationships, and as well as run a proper business. So it's a big business, this Connection. It hasn't always been easy going for him, as you say.
That was Grattan Kirk, the former CEO of the JD Group, and a man who, as he said, sat down a couple of weeks ago with Benjamin Mophatlane, who told him that the deal with Telkom was a dream come true. Never a good time to leave, but if you have to leave, it's nice that at least the dream has been fulfilled. Well,